Right now, the best coach in the world is, guess who? Michael Carrick. Wow. You didn't think it. I know you didn't. Who would have thought it? Michael Carrick. Wow. Still in the headlines, week in, week out. So this man has now coached Manchester United to 5 games, six games, and is yet to lose. No 6 draws. Not 6 draws. 5 wins and 1 draw. And he didn't play Everton, West Ham, Norwich, Luton Town. He played Arsenal. He beat Arsenal 3-2. You should have watched that game. You should have. I was I was stunned. The way Manchester United controlled that game. Like even when going down to a goal, I say Manchester United still playing the game with confidence. And they didn't still relent. I saw them against Manchester City. I was shocked. City. Okay, I'll say City didn't score. We all know City didn't score, but should I tell that City did not shoot? Manchester City did not. They don't fire shot. Oh. Like, almost they won. Like, wow. Manchester City against Manchester United. We saw them against Fulham. Let's go the late minutes winner. Fergie time. Wow. It's back. It's back. It's back. It's Michael Carrick. He played under Ferguson, so probably he understands what the man was doing. He's gotten some secret ingredients to it. Damn. Then we saw them against West Ham. West Ham tried to be tough, but it's still the point. They didn't know West Ham have it all. So let me guess Everton. Manchester United have lead and they have been convincing. That's the honest to God truth. They have played against teams that are good and they have played well. But still, I will tell you that it's in the name, feel Michael Carrick is not the man for the job for Manchester United. And I have my reasons. I'll say it again, do not get it confused. Michael Carrick is not under pressure. He's a caretaker manager. And caretaker managers, there's no pressure. It's not your job. That's the honest God. He can spoil the club like Lampard did when he came back to Chelsea. He had that, is this 7 losses or 8 losses? He didn't get fired. He ruined Chelsea to that point and still didn't get fired. So it's not a new thing. Caretaker managers, there's no pressure. Because even if Carrick were to be losing, everybody will tell you he's just there to do what? Because if we were losing and they were asking the owners of the club, oh, Michael Carrick, the owners will tell you he's just there to the end of the season. But now, he's performing. So it's confusing them. Because he was not even in the framework of getting this job. But now it's not looking more likely, like 70 to 80%, that Michael Carrick might be the permanent manager for Manchester United. Remember, he has been convincing. He has not played against small teams. He's played against Arsenal. He's played against Manchester City. He's played against Fulham. So now, my question to you, Toby, is should Michael Carrick be given the job on a permanent basis come next season? Or should Manchester United still go out there to look for a proven and tested manager? Remember, this man has not done it anyway. He has never coached. He has not been in the champion. He knows nothing. This is his first time. And now all Man U fans, or most of Man U fans, with former players are now saying, give Carrick the job. I'm saying never. Don't dare it. Don't make that mistake. Do not let him convince you otherwise. I feel it's just a trick. I thought even if he wins the league or he comes second, I would still go for a proven and tested manager. Why? Because Ranieri won the league with Leicester City and they disappeared. Because Di Matteo, was it not Di Matteo, won the Champions League with Chelsea and disappeared. So why do you want to do this with a manager that this may just be one season wonder, half season wonder. I'd rather take my chances with something proven and tested, especially coming from the situation Manchester United are coming from now. I feel like Manchester United need a good manager, a quality manager to get Manchester United to being who they were before. The United we knew, that scary team. Because little by little, I feel like it's also dwindling. Like the whole thing coming in when Michael Carrick started, saw them against City, there was too much energy against Arsenal, against Fulham. Now compared to when they played against Everton, I feel like the energy levels are dropping. There are signs showing, and I may be wrong. But again, I'm almost never wrong. I was right about Ruben Amorim. So, Toby, are you among the Manchester United fans that feel that Michael Carrick is the chosen one?
Before I maybe give my definite answer, I think there are some things I need to build up to.
Okay.
One of them is when you talk about the energy levels of the team, that's for sure. The level which you play the game, City, you play Arsenal, um, they are very emotional games, game of pride, game of prestige. So you have to raise your level. Secondly, when you play teams like West Ham and Everton, they're not going to attack you. They want to sit down. They want to frustrate the living daylight out of you. So it's not exactly going to be a very, very pretty game. It's not a game that you would see, but to get something from those games, a win, a draw, that's fantastic. I mean, you have 16 points from a possible what 18, if my math is correct.
Yes,
That is
that's fantastic.
very fantastic. And some people have asked the question: had Man United fired him earlier, would they have been in contention for the title? That's how good this run is. Now there is another problem. When Michael Carrick came to Man United, we saw that he changed the way Man United play. He is very now relationist now. The teams they play with a very different philosophy from what we find in the rest of Europe. And we see this very, very Brazilian like philosophy that he's brought into the team that has given players freedom. We've seen, Kobe Maino show who Kobe Maino is. We've seen Cunha enjoy it. Even Shesko, who was struggling, has come to life. Now, the question you would ask is, if we change all of this with another manager who probably more experienced, who more proven, comes into the team, then again, you have to start from the scratch in terms of the philosophy, the way in which the players are being taught. All of a sudden, that goes away, and now some of those players who have performed.
What I blame in thought because he's a caretaker manager. In the back of their mind, they knew he was not supposed to be here on a permanent basis.
Yes, but
That's the honest
but
situation.
now they're picking up new habits. They do things differently.
But they are
They
still
think
supposed to
differently.
know it's not going to be the permanent.
They know, they in the back of their minds they know that it's not the permanent manager. Some might be praying that he becomes the permanent manager, but they do know that's not the case. The second issue again is this: if you outline the managers that you have, and you look at them again, you ask yourself, there is Fabregas, there is Xavi. Um, Xavi, would you want to bring him? He's a quality manager,
I would say Alonso.
but then he has Liverpool connections, and that's a problem.
Liverpool connections. If Alonso would take the job, I'll tell you to take a proven manager. He won the league. He was doing a good job at Real Madrid, only that the players were just stubborn. I will tell you, you take a manager like Alonso into Manchester United with the kind of philosophy he has and the kind of players he can undo Manchester United's players. He can build something.
Now,
I can tell you that
Alonso is a
can achieve greatness with Manchester United. There's Luis Enrique. There's Fabregas who's doing what with Como.
well, those are great names.
What Fabregas is doing with Como is not once, twice. This is his third season. So compared to somebody this is half. Like you want to take your chances with that.
So again, the Fabregas normally would be my number one pick, but then there's something I want to say again is, what if you let him go? Carrick, that is. He goes to another team. He becomes that manager. that we are seeing, and you see, you know what? Because already, if he leaves,
never becomes in.
because the truth is, if he leaves Man United
But
today,
it's already went to where? West Ham.
clubs will want to
Dead.
pick him up in the Premier League to coach them, or even outside.
Clubs like Nottingham Forest, Everton, West Ham. No sane big club would take their chances on a manager who is not proven and tested, on a manager who's not even done a full season. Di Matteo won the Champions League with Chelsea, still didn't make Real Madrid want to buy him.
Okay, that's fair. That's a fair point.
Madness.
But now let's look at it this way.
Because I feel like it is because he's a former Manchester United player. That is why it's now more likely looking like he's going to get the job.
Maybe not only that. Most times, what you see is you have a manager come into place, and the team either starts to do good, we call it a new manager bounce, or nothing happens, or some players improve. But here you're seeing all the players, every single player is doing well, even the ones who are coming off the bench. And you can see that just the harmony has changed. Even the ones off the bench are, they seem to, I can't say be happy because no player is happy sitting on the bench, but they seem to understand that, okay, I have my chance to come in and contribute. There's just that unity in the team. And again, if you're analyzing as the owner, it becomes complex for you. So I'm caught in two minds, honestly. What I would say is, if Man United will not get a quality manager like Fabregas, if you won't get that, and you want to go and get some other kind of manager who's not the highest level, then just stay with Carrick. But just stay with Carrick.
If you won't get a manager at the highest level, don't still stay with Carrick.
Wait. Hold on for a second.
I don't know why. I don't know why, but I don't just go like.
There is Sebastian Hoeneß at Sebastian Hoeneß, Stuttgart's manager, good manager. But are you telling me now that you were saying if you can't get
fans is not coach the
quality managers
apart from United, that's about giving them the.
All right,
because United are coming from a place where they have suffered for a long time. It's like
Gary, let's start. Pep hadn't coached the club before he took what he.
You're not comparing Carrick with Pep.
No. I'm not trying to. We cannot compare. But I'm trying to say, for example, look at.
And we just in February, we've not seen much.
Look at Julian Nagelsmann, for example.
We've not seen me. These things could go up in flames.
So I would say,
by me,
if you're not getting
me right now, we're talking about. I just said it. I just introduced the show.
Yeah.
And for the people who are just joining us, this is True Ball. My name is Timothy Peter, and I'm here with my brother. We're talking about Michael Carrick, the best manager, and if he should be given the permanent job at Manchester United. And we're talking about him. So I'm asking again, why?
I feel, I mean, for me, Michael Carrick has shown some level of tremendous input into the team, what he's done for the team, how the team is playing. Results, of course, speak well for the team.
When you're getting the job, you're expected to do the job. So I don't think Ozil and Michael Carrick is doing anything special. He's doing what they told him to do. Take care of this team. Do the job. It's your job.
I think he's doing something special. If you call the ownership of Man United, Omar Berrada, Jason Wilcox, and ask them.
What's special? That he beat Manchester City.
No.
Beat Arsenal.
I'm sure that's
Fulham.
I'm sure that when it's
Everton beat drew with West Ham, which part is special?
Let us start with that. Let's analyze that so that we do not just gloss over it. I'm sure that when they gave him that job and he was there, I'm sure in their minds they might be thinking, go to Man City. Probably they think draw that game or maybe even lose because of where Man United was. Draw. Go to Arsenal, most likely because of the way Arsenal was, probably get a draw. And then we're saying, you know what? From Fulham is a game where they think, okay, we start to judge you from those games, even though they were difficult games. And when you look at those results, and you look at Man United, again, like I said, you have to look at all the players. You have to look at the team. One thing you must look at, which is why I said he's doing something different. when Man United were playing West Ham, before under Ruben Amorim, before any other time, when Man United had played that game and they were losing, you would be sure that Man United was going to lose the game because they'd be jittery. But now you find a Man United that is calm. They were calm when they're playing City, which was a game they controlled. They were calm when they're playing Arsenal, which was a game that was quite difficult, but they were still calm and they got that last minute goal. They were calm when they were playing Fulham and they dominated the game and Casemiro was taken off and the game collapsed in the 89th minute and they considered a goal and considered another one in the 91st minute, but they were still calm enough to get a winner in the last kick of the game. They were calm against West Ham, got a winner in the 97th minute, almost got an equalizer, bigger part in the 97th minute, almost got a winner again. They were calm against Everton, a game that was super difficult, was a hard game, and still got that level of calmness to get a result. So when you analyze the team and you see the level of calmness that he's brought to the team, the composure to believe, that is something to show you that this coach has transformed. Matthias Cunha said something. He said, beyond the goal, he said, what Michael Carrick did for him and what he did for that game would stay with him for the rest of his career. He said he kept on telling them after they've gone throughout the plans for the game, saying you have to believe. No matter what's happening in the game, you have to keep on believing in what you're doing. You have to keep on believing. There was something Sir Alex used to say before. He says, at Man United, we don't lose. The time just runs out. What does that mean? You just don't have enough time to change the result. But at Man United, you always know, you always believe that you are in the game. You always believe that you can change the game. And now this is a man who's come to make the players believe it doesn't matter what's happening in that game. You have the ability to change it. Just stay calm. Know for a second that you have the ability to change everything happening in the game. And now when you have a manager who gives you that level of confidence as a player, the ownership of the club should be looking and saying, you know what? I think this man has changed the way the players play. Even players who come off the bench like Benjamin Chesko, they have that level of confidence that's insane. What do you have to say about that?
Well, definitely, I would agree with you that he has brought something good into the club, and we see it with the way they play, and the energy levels, the belief, they keep going. I'll mention the one against Arsenal because the one against Manchester City, I'll say they had it easy. Yeah, Manchester City were just terrible, but the one against Arsenal, they kept fighting from being a goal down to making sure they got the winner. It was a great game. Like that game, I watched it from beginning to end, so I will tell you,
Of course.
it was a super game. I will give it that all.
They gave everything.
They played better than us, not the whip. Great. Like I love the way they were so calm when they go down. But you have thought they would start making mistakes already, and maybe Arsenal would have been loading up the goals, but no, they were calm. And they got the equalizer, got the second goal. And even when that late equalizer came, you'd have thought, okay, maybe at this point, you'll start losing their heads. But they were still calm. And they brought in Cunha, like you said, the goal came in. We saw them even against Fulham again. They were still calm to be able to get that equalized winning goal. Even against West Ham, they were calm to be able to get a winning goal. And we saw them against Everton. It's the way they play. Like, they make less and less mistakes. It's good, honestly. But still, not convincing enough for me. I don't just know why. No matter what he wants to do. So right now, for me, I've seen the best of Carrick. Yeah, he's not lost a game. But now I want to see what happens to Michael Carrick and Manchester United when they lose. That's, to me, that's the challenge. Because we have seen him go 6 games. They're unbeaten. There's something this does to human beings. Now, you start believing on top of the world and you believe that no one can stop you. You start thinking that this is it. Yeah, so Manchester United now feel like they're the best team in the world and they can beat anybody because they've beaten already the best teams in England, Manchester City and Arsenal. So definitely you have that kind of belief. And you've even been able to get 3 points off tricky opponents.
Yeah.
So definitely we have those kind of beliefs. I can't blame them for having those beliefs. But now the challenge is what happens when they lose. So I want to see Manchester United and Carrick when they lose. I want to see that reaction because you can't tell me you're going to win the whole game. And you're not going to tell me you're going to go unbeaten until the season ends. It's not possible. Sure. It's not possible. So I want to see what happens to Michael Carrick for the list. But I'll tell Manchester United again, you give Michael Carrick that job, that's the worst mistakes of your life. That guy is just pretending. It's the worst thing. I'm like the next Ruben Amorim for me. I'm just feeling like it's just that, like, because I'm seeing myself and I'm asking myself, there's no way Michael Carrick is going to be able to replicate this thing he's doing next season. Even a full season, Manchester United qualifies to the Champions League. Yeah, 4 competitions. Now it's going to be about experience. That's where experience. That is what I'm telling you, experience, my dear. It's going to be down to experience coming to play a part in Manchester United next season if Carrick could take the job.
But can't I say sorry? But can I say that he has some level of
Yeah,
experience?
no experience.
Now the experience will come in level of Steve Holland is assistant. Now you ask who is Steve Holland? Steve Holland is assistant. Used to be
Carl is only going to make suggestions, give you
used to be
that's all.
Carlo Ancelotti's assistant,
He's not
right?
the one coaching. That's why they have a manager and they have an head coach. If you want to give Steve Holland maybe the manager position or the head coach at a different ball game. So maybe we have Carrick as the coach and Steve Holland as the manager, or Carrick as the manager and Steve Holland as the coach. But as long as they're an assistant, assistants do nothing. They're like the vice president. The vice president are dead. They do nothing. We have practically no say. So we all know these things are just like those people are just like a figure. Are just figures. You just put them.
But from everyone who has spoken, and those who are around the club, and even players will tell you that Carrick is a person who listens.
No matter how you want to listen, it's still not like you acting it. So, or being manager, you telling them. Because the assistant is mostly we're talking to the coach, giving his idea. You don't want the assistant to usurp your role. You want the assistant to be the one having the players' instructions for what to do every time now and then. No. Definitely. So he's going to come to the coach and tell them, okay, I think this, I think that, I feel this, I feel that.
But they say again that he divides his roles between his managers. The ones he does, the ones his assistant does.
He's convinced. He said, no, what the man you found. I know you know it. People don't know my brother's in Manchester United. Now, very big Manchester United. Fana is very excited. Like, Larry can't do any wrong thing.
No, just
Like,
wait.
this guy is.
Wait.
No, not to take anything away from Michael Carrick. Michael Carrick, what you're doing with Manchester United is fantastic. Like, it's fantastic. It's great. It's mind blowing. You might be the next Six Fabregas because I never knew Six Fabregas was going to do this with Como. Like, man, Fabregas, man, like, my arts for you, for what you're doing with Como, beating Juve home and away, mind blowing. That's crazy. The position, Como, I think that like 7th or 8th, or is it 6th, something in top 10 position, but that is doing really well. Again, these are just opinions, these are just suggestions, these are just analyses we are making and I'm making. It does not define. And again, it may just be the worst thing that came to football.
Again, let me ask you this question: is it possible that Michael Carrick, having played under Sir Alex Ferguson, right? He understands the culture. He understands what it was, that belief system. He has an assistant in Jonathan Woodgate, who played at Real Madrid. He has an assistant in Steve Holland, who has worked with Ancelotti before, who has worked at the highest level. Is it possible that these people are bringing together all that they've known to play at the highest level at Man United
It's possible.
and at Real Madrid, and are telling the players, this is how we think, and are making the players think like this. This is how we think at the highest level. And isn't it possible as well that is good for the team going forward?
It's possible and it's good for the team going forward. But again, I keep saying, he's a caretaker manager. There's no pressure. First on him. There's no pressure on the team. There's no pressure. In fact, nobody's looking at Manchester United because it's a caretaker. It's like Tottenham now. You have this man, you go through the door. Yeah, he has no pressure. I start beating him for one. Doesn't move his
Not change anything.
So, as a caretaker manager, you can lose, you can draw, you can win. You know, it's not your job. It's just you, as a caretaker manager, trying to convince the club why they should stick with you instead. That's just it. So it's him just trying to convince the club so he can relax, he can shake all pressure off him. He can always say anything, say, come into the game, people say, and then says, oh, we're not thinking about this, we're not thinking about that, we're just trying to take a game at a time, because definitely it's just a game at a time. He's a caretaker manager. When I wins the league, when I qualify to Manchester United for Champions League or not, nothing's going to change. But what has changed is the performance, it's the results. And now, 6 games, 5 wins, 1 draw. It's convincing Manchester United. Don't look elsewhere. Look at me. Look at me. Now, if a probability that I wanted to choose Carrick, like a Manchester United fans want, and give him this job, and I would do what my Arsenal are doing with Arteta. I would give Michael Carrick this job on a long-term basis and tell him, take Manchester United and Iron Scrub into your hands. I believe in you. Build. You have 5 years. If you're not doing that with Michael Carrick, you're wasting your time. Because you're not going to be expecting anything from him next season or in 2 years. So that is why I'm saying go for an experienced manager. Manchester United have been here and there. They have missed their good days. They have missed their glory days. They want to come back to the Manchester United fans they don't have the patience, because I'm looking at Ruben Amorim and I'm telling myself, Ruben Amorim was doing well this season. Last season was terrible. Shit, it was the worst thing. But this season when he was sacked, I was like, wasn't doing bad. He was in top 8 position, I think. So why would he sack him? So that's what I'm saying. If you're going to stick with Michael Carrick, don't say it's 2-3 years. Look at what Arteta has done now with Arsenal. He's been there for a long time. It's now 4 years and him chasing this league. 4 years. But before then, it was him trying to qualify for the Champions League. So life is a process. It's a building process, a gradual process. So Manchester United now seeing this thing that Carrick is doing. This is not the gradual process. This is a rush. That's why they want him now. Because they feel he's the Jesus Christ, is the Messiah. If Michael Carrick was winning 1 game, lose 1 game, draw 1 game, they would tell you, yes, but that's not a bad result. That's not a bad result. That's a normal result. What Manchester United wants is abnormality. They want speed. But it's something that we as human beings want. And we as human beings like. When we see success, I can go fast, we rush for it. I'll tell you that fast success burns the fingers. So if you want to give Michael Carrick this job, do not give him on 2 years. You're not going to sack him in 2 years. Arteta's not been sacked even in 4 years. So you're going to stick with this man and say, okay, 5 years, build. Just keep building. Just keep performing. Just keep doing what you're doing. If Manchester United intend on doing that, if that is what they want to do, the fans will not disturb. But look at the fans of Arsenal. They're totally behind Arteta. That is why Arteta is feeling so relaxed. That's why they've been able to do anything he wants to do. Arsenal fans will keep making noise. People are angry. They say Arsenal fans are making noise. They've not won anything. But Arsenal fans are happy because where they were years back is not where they are now. Arsenal weren't competing for the league at all. They were trying to get into top 4. But now, you're seeing Arsenal finishing second. It's progress. To you, you're saying Arsenal is failing to win the league. But it's a lie. It's progress. Success is a gradual process. It's not something that is rushed. But in life, we as human beings want it rushed. We as human beings feel there's a particular time, there's a particular point in life that we should have this, we should have that, or we feel like we're ready. Sometimes you're not. So that's just it. So that's why I feel like Carrick is a no. So I would then put it and place it on 2 points, in which I'll say it again. If you're going to give Carrick the job, give him on a long-term basis. If you're going to do that, then Carrick has time to fail and succeed. But if you're going to give Carrick this job and you're expecting what he's doing right now to transform into next season, where you will see 6 games unbeaten, it's impossible. You may even start your first 6 games next season and he's losing all. You may start your first 6 games and he's lost 3, he's drawn 2, or he has draws, or he has maybe 2 wins. It's not going to come like this. So let's stick with reality. I'm a realist. I like to just stick with reality. I like to stick with truth. So there's no magic that's going to happen to Manchester United come next season. So I know Manchester United, when Amorim got in there, they were already getting pissed because they want to see those glory days back. And I'm like, go for a manager that's proven to say, a manager who has done it over and over and over and over and over. Not a caretaker manager. If you want to take your caretaker manager like Arteta has not done it anyway. Anyway. So Arsenal decided, okay, Arteta, come here, stay here, build. Because if Arsenal were to do 2 seasons with Arteta, they would have sacked him since. He won nothing. They have still not won
I think
anything.
he finished
The
8th.
only thing he has done has been one FA Cup.
Yeah, I think he finished 8th twice. One that annoyed
Saka,
yes,
Granit Saka.
yes.
Where was angry with the players? So we'll analyze this thing and we'll break it down over and over again. So it's normal as fans or as human beings for us to feel excited. Yes, the excitement is there. It's cool. It's good. What Michael Carrick is doing, I love it. I'm amazed. In fact, I'm amazed. I'm shocked. I'm in awe. What he did to Manchester City surprised me. What he did to Arsenal blew my mind away. The late goal against Fulham, wow. Surprise, surprise. But these things are not going to keep repeating itself over and over again. It's not. So, Michael Carrick, I don't have anything against you, but if they're going to give you the job on these 2-3 years, you're going to fail. I can bet on that. But if they're going to allow you to build like Arteta, definitely. As Manchester United will be returned back to their glory days. It will be like them waiting for, like when they waited with Sir Alex, and then started giving them what they wanted. That's how I feel. Have anything to say about that?
I agree 100% that if you're going to be with Michael Carrick, you have to give the manager time. In fact, if you're going to be with any manager, Alonso, Fabregas, they need time because they would want to bring in their own players.
Sure, everyone needs time,
But
yeah, you know that success that you
but
can achieve in 2-3
yes, with Alonso, you can give each other time maybe because it's proven away with Leverkusen, and you're saying, you know what, I think that you can give us this because it's a bigger player. I mean, it's a bigger club, sorry, with bigger resources. But if Carrick is going to be United's manager, then of course, as a club, you have to be ready to say, we're going to let this man fail forward. If anything happens, we're standing with you because we think you can take us to that level. And that's the truth, which is true. United need to know that it's not going to be a ride that's going to be easy. There'll be bumps on the road. I mean, when Amorim came in his first press conference, he said the storm is coming. And there were a lot of storms, a lot of losses everywhere when he said that. So it's not going to be, it can be always perfect, but you must realize that if you are going to, because who knows, this might be the next biggest manager in the world. And he might not be. But if he is, and you want to be saying to yourself that
we have to give him time.
we did a good job, we took a risk, you have to give him time with that risk. Then you can look back and say, yeah, it was worth taking that risk. So in that regard, 100%, I say yes, you have to give him loads of time to be able to achieve that. Because I mean, you give time to Ruben Amorim, should have fired him a long time ago if you weren't going to. And the thing about me is I stood with Amorim till the day he was fired. I kept on saying, you know what? So if Carrick is given the job, even though I've loved Carrick 100%, I'll still stand with him. And I'm amazed at what he has done. I kind of expected good results, so I'm happy that he got those good results because it's good for United and it's good for what they did. Why did I expect good results? When Ruben Amorim left the club, I thought they were 8 not too far. And I kept on thinking, if Man United have a manager who can just stabilize the club, then they can finish in top 4 and qualify for the Champions League. If they have a manager who burns everything to the ground, then it's disastrous, like with Ralph Ragnick. So I think that it's good. And who knows? They still have to play Aston Villa. And if they keep going with the rate they're going and Villa keep dropping points, they have Crystal Palace and I think one more game, then Aston Villa. By the time they play Villa, after playing Villa, they might be third, which is a good way to from a team that was 8th to, I think that's 3 points behind Villa in third, with the possibility of knocking Villa out of third position. So this is a great way for the season to finish for Man United.
Well, a great way for the season to finish would be if Arsenal were to win the quadruple. But I don't dream things that are impossible because no club has done it. So a club like Arsenal can't even win through it. That's my thing.
Well, Celtic have done it.
To fuck Celtic. Can't even talk of the treble. But now I'm going to talk of being realistic. It's the Premier League. Forget the Champions League. Arsenal won't win the Champions League. We know that. Even when they beat Madrid last season, PSG just dumped them out to Marcelo. So we all know, no matter what, Arsenal won't win the Champions League. So let's just be realistic with ourselves. Forget the 8 games they won. The FA Cup is a long road. It's gonna be confusing. But the good thing is that Arsenal has good records in the FA Cup. So maybe we could say they had a good chance of winning that one. The Carabao Cup, they're in the finals. And they're playing the finals this weekend. So it's maybe, just maybe probability. But again, it's a trophy that City knows how to win well. Now, to the main one. To the one everybody wants to know. The one everybody's asking. Even the one I keep asking myself. I'm telling myself. When I'm asking myself, I'm wondering how they even got to this position. Again, can Arsenal win the Premier League? Tough question. I think it was Wednesday they played against Wolves. We're talking. They were playing 2-0. We're leading 2-0. And they threw that game away somehow. And then I started remembering Arsenal of old. Again and again, we've seen this over and over. Arsenal throwing things away. Games away. Leagues away. Confidence away. Momentum away. Energy away. Everything away. It was a game they should not have drawn. You look at Gabriel Magnellis or whatever he called himself with his goalkeeper. I don't know if they were not talking to themselves or something else. Because for me, I feel like Gabriel went for the ball. The goalkeeper shouldn't have come out. Gabriel had already gone for the ball. So in that means everything there was confusion. So there's no points in this. There's no place where I blame Calafori for that own goal. It was none of his fault. He had no idea of that own goal at all. At all. We saw Jesus lose his head. That's a normal thing, expected. We saw Mikel Arteta almost cry. We all know Manchester City have a game in hand. Which is something else. One game in hand. Now, this weekend, we saw Arsenal respond well. So they got response. They needed it because Manchester City had won on Saturday night, and they needed to win against their rivals. Coming to that game, kind of expected they were going to beat Tottenham because we've seen them beat Tottenham over and over again. That's become a routine now, them playing against Tottenham and them beating Tottenham. Right. But going into that game, they were down on confidence. They had thrown 2 games away, that played draws, they'd been throwing points away, and they knew. Throw another point against Tottenham, and it's all over. At halftime, 1-1. Arsenal against Tottenham. What were you thinking at that point?
That game, I was supporting Arsenal. And when Arsenal scored the
How
goal,
are you supporting Arsenal?
I felt that
You feel sorry for them, you feel pity for them.
not necessarily. I felt that in that game they played good and dominated the game, scored. When Rice made that mistake, because again, the game scared me somehow because Spurs were defending
And right,
very well.
it just shows that there are still many more mistakes to Yeah. Because it was the mistake that caused them against Wolves.
And they were kind of lucky
So
because
mistakes Arsenal will keep.
and they were kind of lucky because that second goal that Spurs scored to make it 2-2.
Was cancelled as offside.
Yeah, on another day, another referee, that goal might stand.
And that's complicated matters.
Because at 2-2, Arsenal might just fall apart in another game. And football is an emotional game.
Definitely. We already saw it against Wolves.
If you lose the emotion, everything can fall apart. Because one thing is sure, Arsenal is playing, Tottenham are not playing for anything. And Arsenal will face teams like that. And they are playing for the table. So they have to understand the pressure that comes with that. So, but
There's a lot of pressure right now.
I like the fact that, and of course, there's a lot of pressure. I like the fact that they have players like Eberechi Eze, they have players like Bukayo Saka, they have players like Gyökeres. Some players who can just hit shots, who can do things differently. It's nice to have those players there. Maybe this team is experienced. They've gone through a lot of pain. But again, I think this team also has trauma. I saw two kinds of trauma in that game. Trauma on the side of Spurs.
When you say experience, sorry, I'm looking at experience. Experience in what? And failing.
Maybe you can say that. Separate the things.
They won't be able to win the league.
What I mean is,
Because
you have
the experience is not the kind of experience they need.
maybe
You saw it against Wolves. Because when you say especially coming to play, you should be able to close that game out and win. But then the experience coming into play and they trade away again.
so.
That's the experience of them always failing.
True. I feel that both teams are suffering from. I saw two teams suffering from trauma. Now, there's a point in that game where Igor Tudor, the coach of Spurs, is telling the captain, don't just sit there, go forward. But they don't listen to the coach. Why? Because they're afraid. They're very close to relegation. They've lost so many games. They don't want the ball. That is constituting a traumatic experience for them. You see Arsenal, who anytime they go into a game and there are errors or something falls apart, you can see that these players, they've been here before. Something in them, I'm thinking every time they go to sleep, something tells them in their mind, we might just lose it again.
And yeah, this is the 4th year running, and they're competing again for the league.
And somehow, when you do things like this, it begins to look like spiritual problem. If you're
Is it not a spiritual problem?
if you're an African. Now, Ateta and the players have to overcome this mental block. Good thing they have.
The only way they can overcome it is when they win.
Yes, they have to beat City.
With City, they have to win the league. You can't overcome this if you are not winning the league. You can't overcome your trauma,
I
your
think
past if you can't face
they must know that they have finals. The next set of games they have in the league are just finals. You have to win them. You don't have to play well. You just have to win them or do enough to draw those games.
That is
For example, if you go to the game against City, sorry to cut you short, but if you go to the game against City, the aim of that game is not to win it. I will go back to the game between Liverpool and Chelsea under Brendan Rodgers. Liverpool made one big mistake. They didn't need to win that game. They needed to draw that game to maintain the points they had over City, 2 points, and be in charge. But they were playing at home, at the Anfield. They wanted to go into that game and show their fans that this is Liverpool. We can dominate. We can do that. And then they kept on attacking and fell into Chelsea's trap. Gerrard sleep. They conceded a goal. They lose the game. Man City win. Man City go on top. All they needed from that game was a draw. If Arsenal go into certain games, they know we don't have to win this game. We just have to play it to favor us. So play those games. Win the ones you need to win. Against City, you don't have to win that game. As long as when City win the game in hand, you're still ahead of them. Don't put pressure on yourself. Too much pressure on yourself. Just keep taking it one game at a time, and you win the league. But like you said, until they win the league, they will never be rid of those demons. And when they do win the league, then I'm afraid for the entire league.
Well, I think that's a very big job on his hands, because even him is already losing it. You should have seen him against Wolves. He was almost moved to tears. Even he was especially in the press conference.
Very distraught.
Damn. But this is the kind of place where you have to tell players to like calm down, keep your emotions in check. It's 10 games to go. Manchester City win that game in hand, it will be 2 points. Huh. It's 10 difficult games, 10 difficult games, 10 traumatic games, 10 games where they tell themselves they've been here over and over again. There's no pressure on City, no pressure on Guardiola whatsoever. He's telling himself, we've been here. They always drop for us. So it is psychological effect it does to the brain, where you just tell yourself they will fall, and where that team is telling yourself, how are we going to feel? Even when they're trying to win, even when they are winning,
your mind just keeps playing that thing on you. You keep playing that thing on you. So I don't know how they need to just have to block that part out of themselves and try and win. Now, Eze. Eberechi Eze, for me, I feel like has been the main instrument behind Arsenal's running for the quadruple. Has been the main reason why Arsenal are doing so well. Eze has been instrumental. He's in number, he's a 10, and he plays very fantastically well. He controls the midfield well. He can play any position. He can drift into the left. He can drift into the right. The guy can spray passes from anywhere, and he shoots mad shots. Like, I love Eze. He scored twice against Tottenham. He's doing fantastically well. Man, what else can you say about Eze? Because we're talking here about Eze. You told me you were talking about Eze not enjoying his time at Arsenal or being limited because of the way Arteta likes to play. It was also like people were complaining about Eucharist when Eucharist came and Eucharist didn't score many goals, and people were like, Eucharist is supposed to score goals and this. Now, I should explain how many of these coaches are playing nowadays. Arteta buying Eucharist, he didn't buy Eucharist like mainly to be giving him goals. He has even done press conferences to even explain it several times. Eucharist is doing the job Arteta wants him to do. The job is to press defenders. Arteta plays mostly with his midfielders. He believes in the midfield because he was coached by Pep. So Pep doesn't like strikers. He's only now is using Haaland. So he's not used to it. So him buying Eucharist was like, Eucharist is to put pressure on defenders. Eucharist is going to run, chase defenders, put pressure on the defenders, get the ball, make the defenders make mistakes, and maybe he can get his midfielders to be able to run into position, give them the ball, and get the goal. I thought that's not really interested in Eucharist scoring much goals. He's interested in Eucharist placing more pressure on the strikers. So is Eucharist doing the job? Yes. And Eucharist has still done fantastically well. 10 goals in the Premier League. There's nothing else you can say. He's doing fantastically well. But it's Eze for me. Because you told me Eze was being limited, like he wasn't enjoying the way he was playing on Arteta. And I say he is enjoying the way he's playing on Arteta. In fact, he is the reason why Arteta is doing well. This is. What do you have to say? Eze.
I feel when we look at Eze as a player, is an amazing player, 100%. You see a player.
I feel like he's like underrated. It's not.
Yes, he is.
Really give him much of the credit that he deserves.
Honestly.
Because he has been fantastic this season. I remember it was the one we gave that pass to Martinelli.
Yes, it was.
Against Manchester City. Like every game he plays, you notice
big moments
that Eze is playing. Yeah. And every game he doesn't play, you notice Eze is not on the pitch.
Yes. Because Eze has the imagination to do things that other players wouldn't try.
Definitely.
Which is something that I like from him, that inventiveness. And perhaps it's good that he needed. A lot of the players in this team have been here before. Some of them are going to be very careful at this time where they don't want to make mistakes. So you need a player who really doesn't give to frying spoons, who is able to take the risk. We're in a team that is very risk averse. So I think if Arsenal are going to win the league, they need periods like this. Eze is not going to be the starter, but it's going to be that super sub, and their games is going to start. He's going to give them that edge in those games, something unique, something different. It's a player that is wonderful. It's a player that Spurs will never want to see again in their life. Because
he loves scoring against Spurs.
I don't know if it's because.
And he loves smiling against
I don't know if it's because of laughing. He has some kind of vendetta against them, or he hates Spurs. Let's face it, even though you almost side for them, it is like
Arsenal fan, so what do you expect? But Spurs are
Arsenal's biggest rivals. So, and that's it. And I feel in that team, the person with the biggest winning mentality is Eze. Why do I say this? When we talk about the first title Arteta won, It's a long time ago. Maybe with the exception of Bukayo Saka, 1, 2 players. Most of the players here have never won anything. But Eze has won. He's won the FA Cup. So big player mentality. They need that kind of mentality in the team. Oh yeah, Gabriel Jesus has won. So you need those kind of players, and it's necessary. So I believe that Eze is the extra that they have to go forward and do it. Do I think that Arsenal win the league? I think that the biggest demons to Arsenal win the league this season is Arsenal. They have to overcome that fear, like I said,
Let's overcome trauma.
the trauma. And I think they have to. Everybody goes into that game saying we need to beat City. I have a different opinion. Arsenal need to go to that
You
game.
might be talking about the Carabao.
No. There's still a City game in the league.
Okay.
They need to know they don't have to win that game.
But for them to know that they don't have to win that game, they have to have been getting good results before the game.
Well, that's true. I mean, you have to do.
Because you throw things away before that game, then you have to win that game.
Well, that's true. You have to win those games before that game to give yourself the opportunity to not go to that game needing to win it. So yes, in that regard, 100% I agree with you. You have to be calm. You have to, but again, it's easy to say you have to be calm. I think they have to take it one game at a time, and just maybe imagine they're playing. They should just imagine every other opponent is Tottenham.
What the? It's not possible.
If you can imagine.
Because even if they imagine every opponent is Tottenham, every opponent is going to play like Tottenham. Of course, you have to play stupid football. They do, but that's just it. So it's getting more complicated. I can answer the question if can Arsenal win the league because 10 games to go, 5 points.
10 games to go.
And
10 games to go is a crazy number with 5 points to the.
rather start with the Carabao Cup final that's happening this week.
Yeah, I think so.
Arsenal
Need to win that.
City again in the Carabao Cup final and we'll lift that trophy. Then we can start talking.
If you lift that trophy,
Then we can start.
that does something. That does something psychological. That does something psychological.
They lose the final on Sunday in the Carabao Cup to City, and I tell you that this whole season, not the Premier League, this whole season of Arsenal trying to get a quadruple goes up in flames. The confidence blows off. Now the players start feeling like, oh no, because it's City they're playing against, and it's City which chasing them. So definitely they want to lose. There's something this game will do to them if they were to win. It will feel feeling on top of the world. Sure. And every confidence or energy level or anything that City have been building and thinking that they can win the league, it would just die immediately. There's something this thing does. It's called psychology of the brain. But City wins that game solo. Arsenal season goes up in flames. So for me, Arsenal winning the Premier League comes to play first, starting with this Carabao Cup final. This starts deciding if they have any chances whatsoever of winning the Premier League, if they are serious or they're joking. And should Arsenal not win this Premier League this season, Arteta should be found and flogged. Like, you don't go 4 years finishing second, like you're failing every time. You're on top of the league and you're always dropping down, like during the last days. Not like you were win chasing and chasing, like you're always on top and then dropping. It's not making sense. And again, Arsenal may even start losing players because they started telling themselves, I know this club is not going to win. Because they have stayed for a long time. They have tried to convince themselves. 4 years. Doing this over for 4 years. You get tired. It's life. You get tired. You get stressed. No matter how you want to break the cycle, only got tired. He went to Barcelona. It's life. There's no way. No matter how you love something or love somebody, after some point in life, if they are not also giving that effort or you're not seeing results, you get tired, you drop it. Sure. Whether you like it or not, consciously or unconsciously. So Arsenal knows this season is a make or mar. It defines everything for them. It defines everything for Arteta. Arsenal wins this season and Arsenal opens the doors to trophies. We're talking of many years of Arsenal dominance. You'll be getting the best players and dominating.
Everybody wants to play for Arsenal. Everybody want to play with Arsenal. Everybody won't want to play against Arsenal. Oh, but should Arsenal will win this Premier League, it's over. Nobody will ever take them serious ever in their lives. They will be jokers for life. I'm talking of the next 10, 15 years of everybody just laughing at them. No matter what they're doing, laughing at them. And there's nothing worse than people laughing at you.
Sure.
Nothing. Because no matter how you're doing good things in your life and people are laughing at you, mocking you, to always be discouraged.
It's well.
So Arsenal knows they have to do something great. They do. And all this depends on the coach and the players. They need to calm themselves down going into every game and tell themselves, like you said, it's a final. Every game, you could take every game as a final. Go into every game like it's a final. And just do your best in the game. Don't think about the next game. Don't think about City's game. Because this is your league to lose. It's not City's league to lose.
Don't even think about playing well.
Yes, don't even think about playing well. Just win. Because you're still in the lead. You're still on top. City win a game in and they're still on top. Just keep winning. You don't have to play well. You can play horrible football. It's 10 games to go. 10 games. Keep calm. Keep focused. Do not lose your head. Try not to make mistakes. Try to communicate with each other. And I believe, no matter what, forget the past. This is it. This is where it all ends. Well, that's been it. Yeah, it's been another good show again, and we're so happy that you all joined in, and we had fun talking about Arsenal's chances of winning the league. I don't know if they can win the league. I don't know if they can win the league because from 9 points they've thrown it away, so I don't know if they can win the league. I don't know if they can win the league. But I'm rooting for them against City in the Carabao Cup final on Sunday.
I'm also
And I'm believing and I'm so fully hoping that they win the Carabao Cup final. Should Arsenal win the Carabao Cup final on Sunday? Yes, Arsenal will definitely win the league. And I tell you, yes, Arsenal will win the league. But Arsenal doesn't win the Carabao Cup final on Sunday. It's going to be very hard to see Arsenal win the league. Not impossible, but very hard
very
to see
difficult.
Arsenal win the league.
Very, very,
Very hard. So, my name is Simile Peter. Yep, I've been joined here with my brother, Toby Peter. And this is True Ball, where we talk everything but for ball. Anything ball. Just give us the ball, and I swear to God, we will make it true to you. I'm official IQ on all social media. That is OFFICIALHIIQUE. And he is
Keep it _tactical. You always find me there. We'll talk everything football. And we'll enjoy and have fun.
Well, it's been a great time and a great show. Have a lovely day. Have a lovely night.